Now, what happened in 2010, as I promised you from the beginning of this video? In October 2010, 11th of October 2010, President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan is in office. Nigeria is marking its jubilee, 50 years of independence. Insecurity, kidnappings, all are rising. What was Pastor Adeboye's response back then? Did he say Jonathan had done enough? Was that what he said? That President Jonathan, he has done enough. All he can do is just to give directives and then he should go to bed and sleep. Absolutely not. That was not what he said. The Vanguard News headline, October 11th, 2010. Kidnapping, RCCG petitions Jonathan to stage 1 million man protest. Pastor Adeboye didn't just write a private letter. You need to understand it. He initiated a massive nationwide signature collection campaign. They were collecting signatures from the whole country. He planned a 1 million man protest rally to march against the standard of insecurity. That was the purpose of that 1 million man march. This is not what we're going to do. No congratulations of happy independence. He demanded immediate structural accountability. Why is it missing in his tone of voice in 2026? About 16 years later. Because his tribesman is in power. Because the wife of the president is one of his pastors. We cannot afford to celebrate clinking glasses and congratulating each other when a horrendous decimation of the most vulnerable is speaking up a pace. That was what he told President Jonathan in that letter. He demanded immediate and structural accountability. Why is that missing? That same demand missing now. Why? He mobilized the entire mercenaries of the highest church network in Nigeria to threaten a national shutdown if things didn't change according to his own timing. Why is he not doing it now? That was the energy for Jonathan because he wasn't from his tribe. He wasn't from his inner cycle. He was not from his ecclesiastical allegiance. That was the posture. That was the tone of his voice. Fast forward 10 years later, February 2nd, 2020, President Muhammadu Buhari is in power. The nation is suffocating under banditry, under Boko Haram, under systemic herdsmen attacks. But there is a political twist in the background. As I said earlier from the beginning of this video, that political twist is this, that the vice president of Nigeria, Professor Pastor Yemi Oshibanjo, was a senior ordained pastor of the Redeemed Christian Church of God under Pastor Enoch Adeboye. Suddenly, the call for a 1 million man protest to shock the presidency was turned down compared to the time of Jonathan. In the time of Muhammadu Buhari, because of Oshibanjo from Yoruba and an ordained pastor with the Redeemed Christian Church of God, no longer 1 million man protest to shut down everywhere because of insecurity. What he now came up with was what they call prayer walk. Prayer walk. Prayer walk. Walking and praying. Not a protest at all. Adeboye walked from the church national headquarters in Ebute Meta to Atan Cemetery, back and forth. But notice the shift in the target. In 2010, the petition went straight to the head of the president. In 2020, with an RCCG pastor Oshibanjo in the second most powerful seat in Aso Rock, the rhetoric shifted from political accountability to spiritual warfare. Prayer walk. It became about matching by age categories and asking God to send light to deliver Nigeria, to protect Nigeria. This was still a visible sign of dissatisfaction, which brings us to June 2026, the present indefensible defense of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. President Tinubu is in power. Hardship has hit high heavens. Inflation is crushing families every day. Food prices are completely out of reach. You can testify of what I'm saying. Insecurity has metastasized across the country, not only in the north. Everywhere is ravaged by insecurity. Senator Remi Tinubu, Nigeria's First Lady, has been an ordained pastor with the redeemed, as I said earlier. President Tinubu himself is from the same geopolitical zone and tribe as Pastor Enoch Adeboye, and suddenly the entire theological framework of accountability changes in the favor of his tribesman. Igbos, when are you going to learn? Killing Nnamdi Kanu, destroying Nnamdi Kanu, let him die by hanging. When are you going to stop your dance of shame and foolishness before the full view of the whole world? In the full view of the whole world. Third DOS dissolved. And you are raising dust. But before the third DOS or administration was inaugurated, there was the second. You clapped for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu during the dissolution of the second DOS or the second administration, which paved way for your inauguration or appointment. Now you are dissolved and asked to step down. You say we are going nowhere. We die here. Institutionalization of Biafra, institutionalization of the structure, institutionalization of the movement. Look at how they protect their own. Look at how they roll. That is how they roll. The entire theological framework of accountability has changed because who is in power, who is in Aso Rock now is a Yoruba man. Their religious leaders understand the same. Their political leaders understand the same. Their business people, captains of industries, they understand the same. Those of them in the banking sector, the academia, they understand the same. Their leaders of thought understand the same. That's how the Yorubas roll. But the Igbos are still toddlers. They are still toddlers. They can't learn how to work and stand very strong to defend their own regardless. Am I in support of corruption? The answer is no. Am I in support of what that rip people off of their opportunity to reach their full potential? Am I in support of fraud? Am I in support of deception? Am I in support of that? The answer is no. But the question is, what are the evidence you have against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? All of this back and forth, they are just mere words, utterances, typing and posting on social media. No concrete, verifiable, solid, irrefutable evidence. None. None. That was how HMF4 ranted and ranted and ranted and ranted and ranted up until today. There is no clear, irrefutable evidence in the public domain produced by him against Nnamdi Kanu. Who were the members of the first DOS? Who were the members of the second? And now the members of the third. The second ranted and shouted and jumped up and down. Produce the evidence, let's see. Incontrovertible, irrefutable. The wife of Nnamdi Kanu is jumping up and down everywhere. DOS jumping up and down everywhere. The media warriors jumping up and down everywhere. Your former lawyer jumping up and down everywhere. All of them are dancing and jumping up and down, running helter-skelter on top of the head of one man. What are the evidence? If you push us, we will bring the evidence. If you push us, you have no evidence. How many times have you been pushed? Produce the evidence and let us see. We don't support lies and deception. What I'm trying to say is this. Even though this is not the focus of this video, but I decided to touch on it because it is important. This is a clear lesson, a sharp contrast, a departure from what the Igbos and Biafrans are doing when it comes to protecting their own, who represents something so dear, a symbol that they cannot trade for any national sentiment. The same people that are pushing you today, killing Nnamdi Kanu, destroying Nnamdi Kanu, they will provide you their technologies, they will provide you their platforms, they will provide you their news coverages. Go ahead, lash out on Nnamdi Kanu, call him names to truncate his appeal court that is coming up, his appeal court case that is coming up, and to make sure you hinder his release. But not even behind the scene, brazenly and openly, they use everything that they have, all the thing in their arsenal, from religious, from political, or business, every facet and field of life, to defend their own. To defend their own. That's how they roll. When are you going to begin to walk like a people? When are you going to begin to understand the power and the importance and the value of symbol that represents you? That represents you. Like I said, he made a comparison with Donald Trump and President Tinubu, that when Donald Trump gives directive, he goes to his bedroom and sleeps. That comparison completely falls flat. Why? Because President Donald Trump, that all of you know, his leadership style is the exact opposite of what we are seeing in Nigeria today. When President Donald Trump gives a command, it is backed by pragmatic, aggressive, and proactive execution. If a general or a secretary, for instance, Pete Hegseth, or Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, or any of them at all, Kash Patel, Director of FBI, if President Trump gives a directive and any of these or those that were meant to receive or execute the directives refuses, fails to deliver on a critical national security directive, they don't get excused at all. Just like what you see in Nigeria. They get fired on social media even before the day ends. Trump demands absolute metrics of success, unlike Bola Tinubu. For instance, what is happening in Nigeria? That non-state actors are roaming about, pulling people out of their homes and killing them and hurting them to death or abducting them. What do you think that President Trump will do? He will go to his bedroom and sleep while his citizens have been abducted. Little children are in hostage camps across Nigeria. Are you not watching the videos? Are you not seeing it? How comfortable are you with the statement and the defense of Pastor Enoch Adeboye for Bola Tinubu? Look at how pragmatic and aggressive Donald Trump has been in trying to make sure that every potential threat against the American interest are destroyed and eliminated before ever they hit the homeland. Look at the Venezuela instance of Maduro, Nicolas Maduro. Look at the Cuba instance. Look at the Iran instance. Look at the Middle East instance. Look at the instant or the case of the Strait of Hormuz, and many more. Look at the instances. Practical and indisputable examples of how pragmatic and energetic and proactive the leadership of President Donald Trump has been. You are comparing him with President Bola Tinubu. Pastor Adeboye, you are comparing Donald Trump with President Bola Tinubu. So the game here now is the pastor Adeboye is advising President Bola Tinubu to go to President Trump and beg for 100 days grace. 100 days grace period. And now he will come back to the military and the military or the service chiefs to wrap things up within the space of 90 days or resign. Why is the pressure being directed at the service chiefs and foreign leaders, while the man who appointed them is shielded from the public blame? Why are there no more signatures being collected like they did, like Pastor Enoch did in 2010 under Jonathan? Why are there no more 1 million man protests planned in Lagos or Abuja? Why? This is the price of religious silence, tribal silence. I will take you back to 2020. The reality is very clear. When religious leaders change their standards based on tribe, access to power, and institutional relationships, they lose the moral authority to speak for the oppressed. And that's why they cannot speak. They can't speak. They cannot. They lose their voice. That is the price of religious and tribal silence. You cannot hold President Goodluck Jonathan to standard of a proactive commander, and then you hold Bola Tinubu to no standard at all. You hold the former president Muhammadu Buhari to the standard of a prayer partner in your prayer walk type of protest. Down to Bola Tinubu, no standard. Let him go to sleep. He has tried. The country is bleeding. He has tried. He has done enough. Nigeria does not need leaders who issue instructions and go to sleep. Pastor Enoch Adeboye, with all due respect. Nigerians, they need a president that takes total uncompromising responsibility for the life of every single citizen he swore to protect. This you need to be reminded of. Pastor Enoch Adeboye. You need to understand it. I hand over to the viewers temporarily. What do you think about Pastor Enoch Adeboye's statement or defense of President Bola Tinubu in Washington? Do you believe that the president of Nigeria has done enough? He has done his bit. Let him go and sleep and then come back again in 2027 to contest for the second term. What is your thought? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. I want to read all of them. What is your thought compared to the way Igbos handle their own case, more especially with respect to the upheaval and the clash and the shameless rhetorics coming from certain quarters against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? You be the judge. I'm God's servant, Maxwell Nnawuihe.
Subscribe on YouTube, TikTok, X, Facebook, and Instagram. Follow Maxwell Nnawuihe for more updates. Follow us on YouTube, TikTok, X, Facebook, and Instagram for more updates.